Welcome to Turning Point Homes for Families.
Hello, my name is Shaglenda Green, and I am the president of Turning Point Homes for Women. I'm doing this video today just to give a testimony of how Turning Point came into existence. I first want to give God glory and honor for Him allowing me and trusting me with such a task. So Turning Point Homes began and started with my life. Turning Point Homes for Women is a transitional home. It's a transitional home that helps women transition from a state of poverty to a state of liberty. There was a time in my life where I had instability in my life. I wasn't stable in not only my living arrangements, but I wasn't stable in my mind. And I was going from place to place, not having a place to live, not having the proper finances when I did have a place to live to sustain me in that place. And so as I began to grow throughout life, learning who God was, God began to teach me how to become stable. And again, I was looking for stability in the world. I was looking for stability in how others were telling me to be stable. I was looking at stability in how not only the world told me how to be stable, but I was looking at stability in trying to find love in all the wrong places, even trying to find stability in drugs. Not only drugs, but prostitution. But there came a point in time where I had to learn to make better decisions, but it wasn't because it was something I myself wanted to learn. It was because of it actually being God who led me to understand why I kept falling in the same pit, why I kept finding myself where my credit history was so jacked up. It was all over the place. I didn't understand what I needed to do to come out of that place. So over the time, throughout the years, God just really began to show me how to walk out of a place of being unstable. That place of being unstable started with my mind, with my thought process. And so again, I was looking for stability in a place to live. But what I didn't realize was I was taking that same mindset over from one place to another, but not realizing that it was going to continually happen. And it was continually to happen because I was unstable in my mind. I was unstable because I had an unforgiving heart. I was unstable in my place of residence, not being able to fulfill bills because I wasn't well kept myself in my own thought process. And so Turning Point Homes came into existence because God trained me. He's pruned me through going through times of being homeless. He's shown me and sleeping in my cars that the problem and the issue was within myself. It had nothing to do with me not having a mom. It had nothing to do with my dad not being around. It had nothing to do with all the other things that happened to me in my life. Those things actually was just a byproduct to build and mold me into the child of God that He needed me to be, actually from day one. And so we know, of course, from the beginning, we had a relationship with God. And all of the things that I had ever been through in my life, it was only to train and prune me for times such as this. Am I saying that it didn't hurt? It hurt. But my God, it all worked truly for the good. And so Turning Point Homes didn't come into fruition when I had it all together. It actually came together and started coming together when I was truly in my mess. And so I just wanted to again get on and just let you all know that Turning Point Homes for Women is a transitional home where we allow the women to come in and transition from a state of an impoverished mindset into a state of liberty. God is a God who does not force us to do something that we don't want to do, but He so graciously loves us through those things that He knew would work together for our good. And so our objective here at Turning Point Homes for Women is to encourage, to spur each other along, and as well to meet the needs of women, children, men, to help them come out of the world and come step into a place of being able to live in a place of freedom. Not freedom just because you have a roof over your head, but because you have peace in your mind, you have peace in your heart. I just wanted to give a brief testament of how God caused and allowed Turning Point Homes for Women to become alive and active as His words say. I'm a living example. I'm a living witness. I wanted you all to just be aware, to stay tuned for more either podcasts. Stay tuned for even more testimonial videos from some of our residents. Just stay tuned, because we will definitely show people how. And I think that's a lot of times what happens when people don't see change happen in their lives, and then they're easily able to give up because nobody seems to know how to show people how to come out of a place of having an impoverished mindset when you're so used to something and you're so used to doing the same thing over and over and over, but you're not getting a different result. That's because we're telling people, but there is no action in showing people how to come out of a place of having an impoverished mindset to be able to walk into a place of complete freedom in Jesus' name. You all have a great evening, and I hope that this testimonial will bless someone, and that anybody that sees this will be able to come alongside of Turning Point Homes and just be able to spur us along wherever you're able to give. If you're able to, we would appreciate that as well. God bless you, and may your days be full of what God has in store for you.
Thanks for tuning in. Be blessed.